When it comes to choosing a houseplant, naturally you want to pick one that's going to thrive and be happy. But each room in the house has got slightly different growing conditions, and so I'm going to talk you through some of those, and hopefully then that will make your decision that little bit easier. Now, the living room is probably where the lion's share of houseplants are grown, but it's also the warmest room in the house. That's because we want to be nice and cozy in winter, and that means we've usually got the central heating cranked right up high. That's great for us. It's not so good for houseplants because it really dries the air out. Now, there's a couple of ways around that. You can mist them, just buy a cheap mister bottle and fill it with water and just spray the foliage with water. And also you can grow them in these pot covers, and at the bottom here I've just put a layer of shingle, so when I water, the excess water drains out of this pot into the shingle below, and that just helps increase humidity around the plants. So good options for the living room are philodendrons, yuccas and dracaenas. Generally speaking, hallways and landings are cold, dark, drafty places. So the plants that are best suited for these positions are the really tough ones. Now, if you're just starting out in the world of houseplants and you want to start with something really easy, then I would recommend one of these three plants: the mother-in-law's tongue, the spider plant, and the aspidistra. Now, these three are really very tough and easy to grow. They're also very tolerant of low light levels, so these generally are ideal for hallways and landings. If you're fortunate enough to have a window, as there is here, then something like this monstera with a beautiful foliage would be an ideal choice. As most houseplants originate from hot tropical regions of the world, the well-lit bathroom is probably one of the best places in a home to grow them. It's because every time you switch on a hot water tap and the bathroom fills with steam, it's replicating their natural environment. So this is usually where they're happiest. Things like palms, ferns, bromeliads, and even these really colourful flamingo flowers do really well in bathrooms. If you've got a bright sunny windowsill, a philodendron will do very well here, and also if you just want a little bit more colour, one of these spathiphyllums. The kitchen is also a great place to grow houseplants. The temperature and humidity will vary depending on how often you cook, but it's usually a bright, well-lit room. Obviously, you should avoid placing the plants too close to a heat source or the back door, which is often drafty. So things like this Tradescantia will look great just cascading. You can either hang it as I have, or just sit it on a shelf and let it tumble over. Ferns again do very well, as do these flowering Streptocarpus.